folks, it's Jack Pickleson once again here for another video. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back talking about stuff. Apparently I was wrong last time when I said the next Rivals beta was the last one. This is actually going to be the last one, probably, most likely, because we actually got a release date, October 23rd, I think. Yeah, so I wanted to give my thoughts over Rivals 2 again before the last beta. What's changed, what stayed the same, what I like, you know, all that stuff. A lot of these things were going to be separate videos, but, you know, who's got time for that? So I'm just going to combine all these ideas together, try to be as quick as possible for everyone's little ADHD brains. God, I suck. So, what's changed? Well, not a whole lot, honestly. I'm still looking really forward to Rivals 2. I still really enjoy the game. I'm so impressed with it, to be honest. It's come a long way, and it's just continuously made me happy. Like, I really, like, mad respect for the devs. Visually, like I said, way back in an earlier video, some of the animations are still a little janky. And weird when you look at them, like, you know, by themselves, but it all flows together very well. I think the vision's coming along very great. Audio, like sound effects and music are bumping. There are some weird things about sound effects, but nothing really to, you know, write home about. That would be really, like, really nitpicky. Online is fantastic. Haven't had a whole lot of issues, but I've had more than the last beta. But that was more of like a rollback issue. There was like a weird rollback audio issue that kept me from really uploading a lot of stuff. But it's okay. I'm sure they're gonna fix it, and you know, these kind of things happen. Oh, let's see what else. And again with the graphics and stuff, looks really good. Especially Orcane and the recent character reveal Forsburn, which we'll talk about later. Looks really good. We only saw a little bit of him, but it looks good. Orcane looked really amazing. There's one thing I really want to emphasize. The way Orcane looks, how he looks like he's made of water, is such a cool effect. I really kind of wish they do it with other characters too. Like, make their elements more part of their, like, model and, like, give them unique aspects. Like, Zetaburn. I don't really understand why his hair isn't really, like, on fire or more flowy. Stingy. You know? Like, you see it in his character model, but you don't really see it, in his actual game. So I kind of wish they would do something a little more like that. Make Rano, like, old slimy, you know? But that's just a really minute, like, nitpicky, like, criticism. It's not like, oh, I'm not gonna buy this game. It's just like something I noticed that they did with Orcane, and I wish they would do with other characters too. But yeah, that's enough for the base game. What about the moneymaker here? So yeah, the moneymaker here. Where is everybody on the tier list? Pickle, you did a tier list on Rivals 2. You're such a jerkbag. My character's not as high as I want it to. Well, here, listen, Sonny Jim. I don't make facts, I just state them. But no, seriously. I made a tier list a while back. Nothing too serious. Like, don't think everything I say is gospel, except believe it. But I did this, and it really hasn't changed a whole lot, to be honest. I've been watching a lot of footage. I actually experimented with Loxodon last session of Rivals, and I was feeling the struggle at first, but then I kind of was starting to gel with him, and then I watched other people play him. I'm like, oh man, I never thought of that. You know, I got more ideas and stuff like that, and I've watched more Raster. I've watched a lot of these characters, and my opinion has not changed that much. It's just more, I have more of a concrete idea why I put these characters here and there. I have more of an idea with Orcane. Like, I have more of an idea with Raster. Like, I've seen his ceiling, sort of. Like, I see why people think he's good, and I do think he's good, but relative to the lesser cast. You gotta understand that, like, when I put people in certain spots, it's like a multitude of reasons. Like, Rano's this high because he's very easy to use. All of his tools work, like, all the time. Like, very intuitive and easy to understand. Like, everything he does, he's got an answer for most situations, and they're straightforward. Raster, he's an awkward character who you're not gonna pick up immediately. You gotta understand, like, how he works and, like, what's under the hood to be able to do the same things Rando does. Not saying that he doesn't have as high as a ceiling, it's not as immediately obvious. So it kind of gets muddled. That's why he's lower, I would say. And he also is a lighter character. He just has slightly more. This is not to say you can't do anything. No one on this list, because I was going to do another one, like, comparatively, like, where they are at top level, and, like, the disparity between the characters is minuscule. You know, like if you're dedicated and you go to tournaments, this is not going to matter. None of this matters. Literally none of it matters. The only thing that matters is if you're playing Loxodon, you're going to have to try a little harder, like, and be more consistent. But that's it. Like, everyone can compete. But yeah, that hasn't really changed a whole lot. In fact, I'm more confident that this list. Yeah, I from what I've seen, like, the characters are so close, but this is kind of where my mental brain goes. I'm wondering how it's going to shape up with Forsburn, honestly. Which brings me to the last two topics I'm going to go into before I end the video. Characters. Like, I was going to do a video on this, but I'm a procrastinator, and, like, my life is pretty hectic too. But for the longest time, I was, like, wondering who they were going to pick for the next character. And lore-wise, it would make sense for Forsburn. But I was very curious on how they're going to implement him. Like, are they going to make the smoke as egregious? Is the clone coming back? Are they going to tone down the smoke? Is it going to be completely different? Like, the question is very... I'm very curious. Because his moveset, besides the clone and the smoke, pretty straightforward. None of it really is, like, hard to translate in this game. Like, he has a pretty solid moveset. And the throws shouldn't be that hard. But, yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do with the smoke. But that's why I was wondering if it was going to be him, or if it was going to be Edelus, or Absa. Those are the characters that, like, I would have thought. But now begs the question, like, who's next after that? Is probably Edelus or Absa? It's kind of, it's up there with that one. But, yeah, I'm very curious who their next pick is. Because, yeah, Absa and Edelus will be very easy to translate. Or what if they just do a different character? Like that sumo bug lady? Very interesting stuff. I'm pretty excited, to be honest. And then we're gonna get into the most controversial topic today is shields. Mechanics in general in Rivals 2 feel pretty good. A lot of people complain about crouch canceling, but when do they not? But yeah, crouch canceling I think is fine. Like, it may need another adjustment, but the concept is fine. Like, you without it, like, low percent combos would be really silly, and just, like, they'd have to adjust them. But I could, yeah, that's a whole other can of worms I don't want to get super into, but crouch canceling is fine, to be honest. The main thing though is shields, and I've heard some fluff and guff here and there about shields, mostly the fact that you can't shield poke, and that the shield health is too strong, which I agree with the shield health. It might, or like the amount that you regenerate, how fast it regenerates, that could be adjusted. Shield poking does not need to come back. That's, like, there's the reason why they made shields the way they are. Like, I get it that you can't, like, it's kind of like I guess the closest thing to an overhead in this game would be a shield poke, but it doesn't really work out that well if you implement it. It just becomes this like gobbledygook of like, oh, I've got to like adjust the shield size depending on the character, and you got this like very very word I'm looking something that like is not intuitive, you know, like visually. You're at a party and you're like you're getting drunk on mimosas or cranberry vodkas or whatever you drink, club soda, and you're like, yo, dude, here, now that you know how to dash dance, you gotta understand your shield size. And they're like, what? I don't know what that means. That kind of thing. Like, it's not as blatantly obvious. Like, shield good is pretty good, is an understandable mechanic there. And yeah, I could see the argument for shields being too good. Something you don't really see a lot in Smash is like shield breaks. Like, not nearly as much as I feel like should happen. I don't think it should be as egregious as it is in Ultimate, because like there's a lot of moves that just break your shield almost immediately. Think of like an in-between that like, or maybe give Harry the ability to increase your shield health regeneration and just make shield health regeneration just like slow in general, kind of give like a push and pull between the two mechanics. That would be an interesting thing, but again, I'm not a developer, so I don't know if that's the right choice. All I know is I definitely feel that shield can be a little too good because they are just uniformly the same size and they're just good. There's no way to like break the defense except breaking the defense. So be a little different, but I really don't think it's egregious. I don't think it makes the game not fun, but to each their own, I suppose. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I don't think I'm forgetting it. I'm probably forgetting something. I'm probably gonna like stop the recording and be like, I should have said this. But yeah. That's my Rivals 2 thoughts before the beta. Closing statements, probably. Really hope they fix that audio bug. I think the final product should use a little more graphical flair, like they did on Arcane. Music's bumping. No complaints there. Music is absolutely bumping. Online, really good. Really would like. I'm interested to see their ranked matchmaking system. Maybe allow it to. I don't know if they can do local doubles, like take a buddy and go online kind of thing. Dang it, pickle. What else is there? Tier list hasn't really changed a whole lot. Everyone's really good, so don't worry. Everyone's fine. I just think Raster's not that good. Nah, Raster's fine. I just like to joke. Because like everyone like is like, hey, this character's the best. Because no one knows. Character's the same. Really interested to see how they translate Forsburn to this game and who's next. And shields, while being pretty good and could use some toning down various ways, you don't really need to do a whole lot with them. You just maybe just moves damage to shields case by case basis to make shields generally weaker, and or lower the speed in which you regenerate shield. And then the alternative to alleviate that, kind of mitigate that, is give Harry a buff of like giving you shield regeneration health by landing one. That's the thing. Alright, I think that's everything I can think of. I'm probably gonna watch this video later and be like, I should have said this. I'm an idiot. But hopefully I didn't forget anything. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you this weekend. Hopefully my internet doesn't crap out. The internet to be good. Pickle. I'm a pickle, Morty. Dang it.